You've brushed every inch of his coat. You've nailed every cue. And yet, something's off. Why does he suddenly pin his ears back when you ask for a simple trot? Why does he freeze at the mounting block when you know he's more than capable? And why does he flinch at your touch as if you're a stranger? In today's video, we'll reveal 5 subtle and unmistakable signs that you're losing your horse's trust and exactly what to do to earn it back. 1. Nonverbal signals. As riders and handlers, we tend to focus on our reins, our seat, our voice, but your horse is speaking to you all the time through body language. In this chapter, we'll look at 3 key signals that often appear together when your horse is feeling uncertain, frustrated, or even ready to shut down entirely. Recognizing these early will help you adjust before trust erodes further. Ears pinned back. When your horse pins his ears, flattening them tight against the neck, you're seeing the first red flag. This posture often comes with visible whites of the eyes and tells you he's irritated, anxious, or bracing for something he doesn't like. He might be uncomfortable with your position, resent a poorly timed aid, or simply stressed by the environment. At this stage, stop and assess. Are your cues confusing? Is his tack fitting correctly? Vigorous tail swishing. A casual flick to shoe flies is normal, but an emphatic, rhythmic swish is a clear sign of frustration. Your horse is saying, "Enough!" This can precede more serious behaviors like rearing or bolting if ignored. Reevaluate what you're asking. Are you demanding too much too soon? Often a brief halt, a deep breath, and a reward for forward movement will reset his mindset. Repeated head tossing or shaking head tossing, violently throwing the head up and down or side to side, signals confusion or resentment at your aids. It may start during transitions or at the mounting block. This behavior usually means your horse doesn't understand or disagrees with the pressure you're applying. Slow down your exercise, break it into smaller steps, and reward even the slightest improvement. By tuning into these non-verbal cues, you'll catch friction before it turns into a breakdown in trust and lay the groundwork for deeper connection. 2. Shutting down. Mental blockage. When a horse shuts down, he's not merely refusing to move, he's mentally checked out. This glaze-over moment often follows repeated stress or confusion and signals a deeper breakdown in your partnership. He isn't protesting loudly. Instead, he goes quietly numb, leaving you with a blank stare and a statue-like stiffness. In this chapter, we'll explore what typically pushes a horse into shutdown mode and how you can gently coax him back into engagement. What pushes a horse into shutdown mode? Every horse has his breaking point. When demands become too great or the signals too muddled, he retreats into a safe, immobile space. Common causes include overwhelm from session intensity. Long workouts without clear goals or rest breaks can tire his mind faster than his body. Conflicting cues. Asking for impulsion with your leg while simultaneously restricting him with the reins creates mixed messages he can't resolve. Undetected discomfort. Physical pain from a pinched back, ill-fitting saddle, or dental niggles can make any movement feel wrong, so he opts out entirely. How to gently rekindle his engagement. Pulling a horse out of shutdown requires patience and respect. Rather than pressing on with the same routine, try these approaches. 1. Hit the reset button, end the session, or switch to a low-stress activity like free lunging or groundwork on a loose lead, giving him space to decompress. 2. Celebrate tiny wins. Reward the slightest shift, a softening in the pole, a single step forward, with a scratch, kind word, or brief walk break to reinforce positive feelings. 3. Eliminate pain points. Arrange a thorough vet or physiotherapy check to uncover hidden soreness. Addressing discomfort is the first step toward re-engagement. 4. Clarify your signals. Once he's ready, reintroduce aids one at a time with plenty of pauses. A clear, singular request followed immediately by praise rebuilds understanding and trust. By identifying what shuts him down and offering a compassionate path back, you demonstrate that you honor his limits, paving the way for a stronger, more willing partnership. 3. Refusal to move forward. Broken faith in motion. Nothing tests the trust between you and your horse more than asking him to step into the unknown. and having him simply refuse. When your horse plants his feet or speeds off without listening, he's vocalizing a deep uncertainty about your guidance. In this chapter, we'll explore the typical situations where refusal shows up, how to tell if he's choosing to defy you or is genuinely in pain, and practical exercises to rebuild his confidence in following your cues. When feet turn to stone, common scenarios. Your horse may freeze at ground poles or jumps. Even low poles can look daunting when he doubts your judgment. Stop at textured surfaces. Pavement, tarps, or puddles become obstacles he'd rather avoid. Bolt through aids. Alternatively, he might rush forward uncontrollably, escaping your leg and rein signals by barreling off. Each behavior stems from the same root. He no longer trusts that you'll keep him safe or give clear direction. Defiance or discomfort. Making the distinction, before labeling him stubborn, rule out physical issues. Vet check, saddle fit, hoof pain, or back soreness can make forward motion genuinely uncomfortable. Behavior patterns. A horse who refuses only on one lead or in one direction often flags a physical asymmetry. Emotional cues. Look for tension in the neck or hollowing of the back, signs he's bracing rather than balking. Exercises to rebuild forward. Trust 1. Groundwork. Transitions. On the lunge line, ask for walk, halt, walk in quick succession. Reward each smooth transition to reinforce that moving on cue is positive. 2. Desensitization over textures. Lead him over tarps or poles on a slack line, pairing each step with a treat or scratch. Familiarity breeds confidence. 3. Progressive cavaletti. Start with ground-level poles, gradually raising height only as he relaxes. Celebrate every willing step with verbal praise. By patiently guiding him through these scenarios, you'll prove that forward motion under your leadership is both safe and rewarding, restoring his willingness to step ahead with trust. Head, shyness, and flinch reactions. Imagine approaching your horse for grooming, brush in hand, only to see him start, pull his head away, or even snap at the air. It feels as if an invisible alarm has gone off. Something about your touch makes him tense. This reaction often isn't about your skill as a handler, but about his past experiences and the uncertainty he carries. Perhaps he once felt a pressure point under the saddle that pinched him, or a tight halter that chafed his sensitive cheek. Those memories linger, so even a gentle stroke can stir anxiety. Other times, horses who didn't receive consistent, caring handling as foals simply never learned that human hands bring comfort. You begin each session by standing beside him, offering the tip of your brush like an olive branch. At first, he sniffs it warily, eyes darting. You let him decide when to lean in. A tiny nuzzle from his muzzle brings a soft good boy and a light scratch behind the ear. Over the next few days, you trace a slow arc over his neck. First a single light touch, then 2, then 3, always pausing to let him relax, rewarding every moment he stays calm. Soon, what was once a brief flinch becomes a gentle acceptance. He starts to lower his head when he sees the brush, and even leans into your hand when you scratch along his jaw. Each stroke rewrites his story. Where once there was fear, now there is trust. By taking time to listen to his body and pairing every touch with kindness, you transform an anxious reaction into a quiet invitation for connection. 5. Warning, nibbles, and bites. You're tightening his girth after saddling, and out of nowhere he delivers a quick nip at your jacket. It's not vicious, more of a gentle watch it, but it stings nonetheless. In that instant, the message is clear. He's uncomfortable, uncertain, or simply staking his claim to personal space. Maybe he's tired of the pressure and wants you to back off. Or perhaps the leather rubbed too tightly against his side the last time. Sometimes it's frustration. When cues come too fast, a nip can be his way of saying, "I don't understand what you want." Other times it's fear. Old memories of rough handling can trigger a defensive snap before he thinks twice. Instead of scolding him, you step back and take stock. You begin by giving him more room, standing further away until he relaxes, and then reintroduce the girthing process in smaller stages. One gentle pressure, then pause. A soft pat when he stays calm. Over the next few sessions, you sprinkle in light groundwork, asking him to yield his hindquarters or give his head inflection, rewarding each polite response. Gradually, the warning bites fade. In their place, he offers a nudging muzzle and soft exhale, inviting you to scratch behind his ears. By respecting his boundaries and showing that your touch brings reassurance, not discomfort, you rebuild the trust one gentle interaction at a time. That wraps up our look at the 5 telltale behaviors that signal your horse's trust is slipping, from those quiet body language cues to head shyness and warning nibbles. By spotting pinned ears, shutdowns, freezes, flinches, and gentle bites early, and responding with clarity, patience, and positive reinforcement, you'll rebuild that bond stronger than ever. Did you recognize any of these signs in your own horse? Drop a comment below to share your experiences or tips. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss a lesson in building true partnership. See you in the next one.